Hello everyone and welcome back to Star Wars Lore, and today's episode is about the self-propelled heavy artillery Turbolaser Walker. Now, before the Clone Wars, planetary invasions tended to always take place over long periods of time, with troops being deployed one battalion at a time. The military strategists behind the Republic's clone army, however, were instructed to design a force that could be far more bold than anything that had gone before. The army was to be capable of striking fast and hard whilst only sustaining limited casualties. Now, the outcome of the strategist deliberations was an attack force with three key components. First of all were the Republic gunships, which were used to deploy and retrieve troops quickly and effectively, as well as providing air support. Second were the six-legged clone walkers, which would race across the battlefield, capturing and holding territory with frightening efficiency. And the third component was the SPHAT, or SPHAT, the self-propelled heavy artillery turbolaser. Now, for the rest of this video, I'm just going to refer to it, because it's a bit of a mouthful, I'm going to refer to it as the SPHAT. Okay? Just bear with me for that, sorry, but it just makes things quicker. Now, a titan of military strength, this 12-legged juggernaut was capable of cutting deep swaths through even the strongest opposition. The main armament that it wielded, with devastating power, served to decimate opposition forces with almost careless ease. At the Battle of Geonosis, the forces of the secessionists, taken entirely by surprise, barely had a chance when faced with these behemoths. Now, due to the walker's size and weight, the strategists thought that in fast-moving confrontations such as the Battle of Geonosis, the SPHATs would be the last weapons to be used by the clone army. Large and heavy, they were deployed directly from the Republic cruisers and had to be given time to get into position. Now, for this reason, the intention was for the gunships and clone walkers to establish a spearhead before the SPHATs arrived to provide extra support, as well as a fallback position in the event that their opponents were more robust than anticipated. Now, of course, the clone army was designed to be flexible, and during these more challenging confrontations, the SPHAT was designed to take the lead. With stout armor that rendered them almost impregnable, the SPHATs were able to storm into enemy positions, smash them apart, and allow the troops following in their wake to mop up after them. Now, needless to say that the strategists had realized that one of the battle scenarios with which the clone army would regularly be confronted in the conflict ahead was that of an opposition securely entrenched in heavily armed fortifications. Now, on these occasions, the SPHAT's immense turbolaser would play a vital role. Far more powerful than anything ever found on a starship, the towering vehicles were more than capable of tearing a hole through even the toughest barricades, allowing clone troopers to pour in and overwhelm the opposition forces skulking behind the barriers. Now, without a doubt, the inclusion of the SPHAT in the clone army was a military masterstroke. With this one vehicle, the army was seen no longer to be just devastating, now it was indomitable. And at 140.2 meters in length, the SPHATs were true behemoths of the Clone Wars battlefields. The basic design of the chassis allowed a number of SPHAT variants to be fielded, expanding the role of the series. This included the SPHA-I, mounting an ion cannon, the SPHA-V anti-vehicle laser, and the SPHA-C concussion missile launcher, and the M, a mass driver cannon far larger than on the all-terrain tactical enforcer. The most common model, though, was the earliest version, the SPHAT, or the SPHAT, which carried an immense heavy turbolaser. Now, the SPHAT series were commissioned by the Kaminoans at the same time as the ATTE, the LAT, and many other pieces of battlefield technology. The LAT there being the Low Altitude Attack Transport, pretty sure, yeah. Now, unlike the ATTE, the SPHATs were designed from the ground up. Rejecting a complex and heavy turret system, it was decided to make the artillery pieces into walkers, allowing the whole unit to turn, with no support vessels able to deploy these massive vehicles. The SPHATs walked into combat, travelling at up to 35 km an hour. Now, despite their huge size, awesome firepower and heavy armour, the SPHAT and all the series were vulnerable to smaller units, as they were unable to effectively target anything much smaller than a capital ship or that was faster moving than they were. Now, to counter this, they carried around 30 troops who were deployed to protect the vehicle from threats such as infantry or smaller vehicles. And the crew itself numbered around about 15, supplemented by 10 gunners on variants fitted with retractable anti-personnel blasters. The biggest limitation of the SPHAT series was that when they ran out of power or ammunition, they had to return to be restocked. Now, although used throughout the Clone Wars, the SPHAT series walkers were not a common sight. This was due to their limitations in the increasingly fast-shifting battlefields of the conflict. The turbolasers of the SPHAT Ts were used, however. Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker realized their worth, offering the suggestion that they be fitted in the hangars of Venator-class Star Destroyers to boost their firepower. And this was singularly successful, particularly during the Battle of Coruscant. And during the Battle of Coruscant, when you see Obi-Wan and Anakin flying their Eta-2 Actos Interceptors amongst all the ships, you actually see a blue beam get fired from a Venator hangar bay into a Separatist cruiser and pretty much blow it up. And that blue beam was from the Turbolaser of self-propelled heavy artillery Turbolaser, as you can see in the picture now. And with all that out of the way, that is the SPHAT, or self-propelled heavy artillery Turbolaser behemoth on a battlefield. If you like the video, be sure to hit a like, subscribe if you're new or you haven't subscribed yet, and I'll talk to you all next time. I'll catch you all later.